Hi, I'm Andy, and this is my lesson on using the indexOf string method in Java. In this lesson, I'll show you how to use indexOf to search a string for a single letter or an entire phrase. Let's get started. Let's start by looking at a description of the indexOf method in the string API. Notice the indexOf method is overloaded, meaning there are multiple versions of it. We're going to focus on this one. To use this version, we need to pass the method a string reference. The method will then return an integer, specifically the index of the first occurrence of that passed string. Okay, let's start out by making a simple string object. Then I'll make a second string object, this one containing the substring we'll be searching for. Let's just search for a letter at first. By the way, we call this a substring because it is presumably a part of our original string, banana. Now we can use the indexOf method to find the index of n in banana. According to the API, the indexOf method returns an integer. We could store that integer in an int variable, but I'll just have that returned int get printed out by putting the method call in a println statement. The first thing that happens when this line executes is this, the call to the indexOf method. Remember, this is the syntax for invoking a method on an object. In this case, we're going to ask fruit to perform the indexOf method. And this string reference is called the parameter or argument of the indexOf method. It is the thing indexOf will be searching for. According to the API, this method returns an integer, which means after this method finishes executing, this method call is replaced with a single integer, the index of search string. It is that integer that then gets printed by the println method. Before running this code, try to predict the output. Okay, let's see what we get. To understand this result, you need to remember two things. The first is that the indexOf method returns the index of the first occurrence of the passed substring. The second thing to remember is the numbering scheme for string text. Remember, each character in the string has a unique number called an index associated with it. And these indexes start at 0, not 1. So when the indexOf method searched for the substring n, the first occurrence was found right here at index 2. That's why we got 2 as our output. By the way, as a bit of a shortcut, we could have put a string literal in our call to the indexOf method instead of making a string object and passing its reference. For example, try to predict this output. We got 1 because the first occurrence of that substring starts at index 1. Lastly, let's see what happens when we search for this substring. The indexOf method returned -1 because the string does not include a capital A. Capital A and lowercase a are considered completely different characters. And when indexOf does not find the substring we pass to it, it always returns -1. Okay, how about this one? What's going to be printed out here? Again, we got -1 because the substring nap does not exist in banana. It doesn't matter that part of the substring can be found. Either the entire substring is found or indexOf returns -1. And that wraps up this lesson on the indexOf method. I'm Andy. Thanks for watching and coding with me today.